Oh my God, did we just lose everyone?
We probably lost everyone for a half a second. So we need to give everyone some time to switch over. We'll put a message in the
Community page.
in the last video.
Oh my goodness. You see, this is what happened when you talk about love.
Everything falls apart.
The moment that you say love, the devil does not like that at all. Wow. But has been an amazing Sunday. I hope everyone get back on.
Yeah, no, they will. We just need to give them the new link.
The new link?
Yeah. We're gonna go.
So we are talking to ourselves.
No,
there's already 5 people though, including Novi D, Ruth,
Thank
and
you,
Avid Reader.
Novi
Thank you
D.
so much for popping right back on with us.
Yes.
Through our technical difficulties.
It's not a live show if you don't have any issues.
Exactly.
Yes. I was talking about early on bringing Royal Sussex in any of interview that, sort of, if I ever have an opportunity to miss, I would love to bring him along. I could hear him say, nope.
I was about to say, he's
Nope.
he's already said he doesn't want to go.
Nope. He's going to like, nope, I don't want to do that. Nope. I love when he does that. Nope.
So speaking of which, so it has been a pretty busy week for our prince as well as our duchess.
Oh my God! Well, now she's at home with the 2 young ones.
Indeed.
As she should. And Harry is holding up everything. And wow, what an incredible time they have together! It was amazing.
Well, it just reminds you how really important that event really is.
Oh,
because it's one thing, you see the reels and sometimes you get the snippets and the cuts, like more or less
Right.
kind of the highlights. But it's different when you actually watch some of the things or whatever, because you actually get the emotions that people are actually feeling as they're doing the event. And so it really is like life altering in terms of what he's trying to do.
That's
Well, not what he's trying, what he is doing.
I just feel like there's something special about this. All of them have been special, but this particularly one, I feel like just jumped in another scale. Something just happened, like where you feel like this is only gonna get bigger.
Yeah, and honestly, it's true. It feels like Dusseldorf was incredible.
Incredible,
right?
yeah.
But when you look at, from the outside in, you look at the state of the facilities, the entire production, the quality of what they were able to bring together itself is just remarkable. And it's like, this is a next level thing.
But what stands out to me is the amount of love. Like you literally could feel it. You could feel the energy. You could, through the small screen that, we are watching, you just can feel it.
You see it in people's faces, You
That's
can
right.
see it in their emotions.
The support.
Everyone, the way
so
they're smiling.
inspiring. It's almost feel like it's exactly what we needed that we didn't know that we needed because of everything that's happening around us, around the world. And I think to see those heroes that, have give everything for us and showing us again once more what is really important.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they were fighting, for love in term like, said, what, we need to put love in forefront of it all.
Exactly.
Well, I think that for me anyway, I think that's why this particular games were just so much more impactful. I think is just because the delta between kind of how the rest of the world is going on versus kind of this very bright shining light in terms of human spirit.
Right.
And so it just makes it seem all the more brighter because, there's just a deeper shade that goes around.
But it's also what I've seen in our communities, like sort of when you looked at the Sussex squads, the amount in love that, they constantly sharing. Because it's a very difficult place to be when you confront with so much hatred, when you constantly feel almost like you defending love. And it could make you, I don't know what the word, but it's almost like you could find yourself in the dark side, so to speak. And so to remain true to yourself, to be the guideline, you know what I'm trying to say. It's just that I feel like I can feel their love sometime.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm excited about today's service because I know we're going to get into
It is,
this,
and we need to
some of
go
that.
right into it. So let's go to our girl.
Okay, Church Nelly.
That's right.
Okay, where's my stuff? There's my stuff. Okay, so Church Nelly. So as we already talked about a little bit before, this is just a quick news segment for all those. We're talking about the Invictus games, obviously, and so they are presented by ATCO as well as Boeing, and they actually announced they didn't announce it today, but who's going to be performing today in their closing ceremony. It is pretty much an action-packed lineup. We have Jelly Roll, who's actually from Nashville. He's more of a country singer, although kind of rock country kind of thing. Bare Naked Ladies, which I did not know, but they're actually Canadian.
I didn't know they were Canadian.
Yeah, me neither. And then as well as someone called The War and Treaty, which apparently is this, it's an American duo. And they're kind of more on the country side as well, but they've been nominated for a bunch of Grammys themselves. So I'm not familiar with them, but apparently they're really they're white hot these days. And so yeah, so it's the closing ceremony will bring a spectacular close to 9 days of memories, life-changing sport events, and up to 550 competitors, as well as their families and friends, and the many thousands of supporters around the world who actually went to the games live.
Actually, I think it was the last night I hear Well Sussex was talking about he was a little bit disappointed in the fact that, our Dutch it's not going to wasn't there to meet the other prince that was there. So for me, my disappointment I don't think it's a disappointment. I actually would have loved to see Celine Dion closing, because she has some incredible range of music that met this moment. And it would have been nice to actually, I don't know why she wasn't a part. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. Because, she is Canadian. And
She's
so,
like the Canadian.
the Canadian, exactly.
Like she
So
represents all of Canada.
I wonder why she was not a part of the lineup. It would have been amazing because she could put a performance, and I could see her in that arena, and a lot of her song, speak, for this moment really right now. So
It's true. It's true.
yeah.
But also, I mean, I haven't heard her having and not that I'm a huge Celine Dion fan, so perhaps I just don't know. But she had the residency down in Vegas for a long
she
time.
did, and she went through some, sort of.
Yeah, she
things.
backed off that, and so perhaps she's just not in a
No,
place.
she was
where,
ill. She was ill for a while now. She's completely seems like recovering. Who knows? I hope everything is well with her. But yeah, it would have been nice to see.
It would have
her
been
just-
great, but
for her.
unfortunately, she may have just.
Yeah,
My
she
point
has
is
a
that
lot
she may have
going
had
on.
something else going on.
Yeah.
Is more my point.
Yes.
So that's basically what's going on with the closing ceremony tonight. And then we can talk also about the little Instagram post in terms of
Oh
what's
my
going on
God.
with Megan and why she decided to fly back. I'm sure there's been a lot of bickering and back and forth amongst the punditry across the pond, but they're going to say what they're going to say. But anyway, what she wrote on Instagram is that she's back home taking care of our babies and missing my Valentine's as he continues on at the Invictus Games, changing lives and reminding all of us that power of healing and resilience through these incredible veterans and their families. Beyond proud of my husband and what he has created. My love, I'll eat burgers and fries and fish and chips with you forever. She continued. Thank you for you.
Did you guys know the word husband callings? If you marry, you call, your spouse husband, and your husband call your wife. It's actually now forbidden, apparently. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's forbidden to say you can't call your husband no more. So I wonder what is the next thing. What should we call? Yeah. Apparently, there's you know what I was going to say. I'm not going to say it, right? What was I going to say?
I don't know.
An executive order
Oh gosh,
against, sort of, yes, So it's like
it's a new mandate. Yeah.
there's a new mandate now.
That's the new word, actually. Mandate.
Yes, there's a new
It's not
mandate
husband, it's mandate.
that you cannot say.
Come on, no,
You're
you gotta get it.
forbidden.
You get it? Mandate.
Yeah. I just got it. I'm a little bit, sort of not with it sometimes. Yes, go ahead.
So yeah. So no, I mean that's in terms of the news. Everyone's been busy with the games, doing a fantastic job. Megan has flown home to take care of her babies, as she said. So that's basically what we got for the news going on. Yeah, we can jump either, unless you have some more things to bring up, or we can jump into the word, really.
That's right. Well, actually, no, we're going to, before we get into the word, we're going to go for it. We have to do Connie Bummer, of course, our girl, Connie Bummer. And so, but for Connie today, we decided that, as a community, I think it is really important to tell, the stories of these amazing soldiers and families, and really people who reminding us what's important, remind us the sacrifice, the ultimate some of them have paid with their lives. And so I think it's very inspirational. And I think it is really important to really listening, to those incredible stories. And I think Claire Kane did an amazing job. Yesterday I was listening to her. One of the story actually, I bought from her. But before we do that, we're playing the one from Canada. I think it's amazing. I think it's a reminder to us as we move in lives, and to remember, the power of love, the power of community, and the power of, sort of families.
That's it. Let me just get it queued up.
My name is Erica Moore. I work at Canadian Fleet Pacific headquarters. We support deployments all over the world. I wanted to be a strong Canadian Forces member. Sometimes it may not be easy, and we always put the country before ourselves. Team Canada is the most beautiful and wonderful, excellent experience of my whole entire life. I was so proud to walk across the stage. Wearing the Team Canada uniform, it is a symbol of greatness and goodness and strength, and I was together with a team and not alone. When we were preparing for the Invictus Games, we had the excellent opportunity of training. The coaches and the staff made us feel like we can succeed even when we felt like we couldn't. And they believed in us. We all brought out the best of each other. It's not so easy to do some of those sports, but with all different abilities, people are doing it. It's so inspirational. I wasn't the strongest swimmer. I didn't come in first. I was close to last. At the end, I celebrated with the other countries, and then the crowd was cheering for us. I never thought in my life I could have that large of a crowd cheering for me to finish. What Invictus did for me is it opened up a whole new world of possibilities, capabilities, strengths, and the things that are important in life. The world is beautiful, and when you wake up each and every day, be proud of yourself and show the world who you are, and do not be afraid. It is a stage for everybody, young and old, at all different levels, all different capabilities. It is friendly, it is fun, it is about sharing, about community. I hope to volunteer for IG25. There's going to be music and celebrations. It's something that everybody can enjoy and just learn from each other. I am Erica Moore, and I am family.
It is an incredible, isn't that amazing?
It literally makes me tear up every time.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. Again, it just reminds us what truly, really important. But the next story, I think, defined gravity. It defined everything. The spirit of of love and human and don't want to give up, sort of, support. Like to me, that story, it's so incredible. It's almost like, say, no, I'm not ready yet. And I think I want to share this story. I want you guys to hear it if you did not hear it from Claire Kane yesterday, because I think it was amazing. So let's play this story. I think we need to tell, keep pushing these stories out.
Through all the injuries that he received, he was pronounced dead 3 times. He had 2 strokes, completely paralyzed, traumatic brain injury, a cardio arrest for 11 minutes to return him back to life. At the 40 days, they asked me to disconnect him because he's brain dead, and I said no. And we endorsed this remarkable miracle journey. My name is Claudia Avila. I'm the wife and caregiver of Captain Luis Avila. He is an inspiration for me because he has not allowed his disability to define him. Some of the challenges that my husband has, he has hearing issues, he's visually impaired, he's almost completely paralyzed. It's already a challenge for us, but we don't see the challenge. We only see the beauty of the things we are going to accomplish that day, and we take it. It's magical. It's priceless. Unforgettable. It gives me goosebumps. Seeing all of them inspire all of us. If they can do everything they do, why not we're not there doing it? We wanted to show the point that people, even under the circumstances, the ability to perform is remarkable. And if we provide the equipment that they need, they can be independent. And they continue, keep pushing it to get more goals, to keep working, to be more independent in the freedom, the joy and the smiles here of everybody say it all. Movement is therapy. Therapy is independence. Independence is freedom. Just to recover and conquer, to try to do that every day is what it really make it to be any day a great day. Like he always remind me, any day above ground is a great day.
Independence is freedom. Isn't that what we have been experienced with Harry and Meghan? Their independence become the freedom that they needed to do these incredible things that they are doing in the world stage. What an amazing story. And I don't think I want to add on anything to that. I think I want that to sit with us. I think we need to observe what that woman just said as we going on to the rest of the service. So
yeah, I mean, for me, both of those stories, the one thing I would say is that not only is it so impactful and so inspiring and so uplifting in so many different ways, but when you think about how it got to that point, it all goes back to Harry, something that he started.
that's right.
And this is one of many things that he's doing across the world stage. So it's just thinking about the positive impact, what he really means symbolically and practically in terms of how he
Again,
uplifts
she
people.
ends it by saying independence, it's freedom. I am not so sure that Invictus would be what it is, so beneficial to everybody, if he had to still deal with what he was dealing with. And that freedom for him to be able to do what he does and doing it so well, sharing his love, his time. I mean, like Megan said, they are family now. They always have been, because once you serve, it's a very different thing.
That's the truth.
It's a different club that you enter. And so I think we should continue the services because we need to be done.
We need to keep on
and
pace.
I need to prepare for everything. My mother, for the first time, sitting
That's good.
as I'm watching her right now since her ordeal. So it's incredible to see again the power of love and the power of God, the power of prayer. So thank you all for your continuous prayers. So thank you so much.
Speaking of thank yous, before we jump into the word, which I know you're about to introduce, Lady Sussex, we
Yes.
do want to take a moment, as always, to say thank you so much to everyone for your support, for tuning in, for listening, for reminding us to say like, share, and subscribe, all of those things.
That's right.
And especially, very quickly, just as always, a huge thank you to those who continue to support us with their memberships. That is Patricoa Marcel, Marvel Walker, R.R. Carter, V. Brame, Antonio TC416, Church, Nelly, Black Queen, Kate Castillo, Eve Balmer, Sylvia Fielder, Connie Balmer, V. Thomas, Lady Rose Sussex, Bryce Thompson, Royal Sussex, Lydia Washington, Connie and Julie, Angela White, Chef Sandy Love, Dawn Robinson, Gales, Diane Hawkins, and Ingrid Source. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. And what else?
That's it. So I know you want to get right into this word, so we can jump right into that if you want. We'll just remind everyone that we're not experts. We don't claim to be experts.
Not at all.
Everyone should also fact check us, get sources, get multiple different sources, different perspectives. And even though it is called a church service, we're not trying to convince anyone to change their beliefs. We're just here to ask questions and highlight those who we believe are doing good work.
Exactly. That's right. So let's get the service started.
Let's get the service started.
Quickly, today, the word that I choose for you guys, it's love. What is the meaning of love? Is it what we have seen on the world stage with the two lovebirds? My goodness, when you looked at Harry and Meghan, as though that they just met for the first time, it reminded me the beginning of their relationship. That it was something about them as though that they didn't have children yet. They were just playing with each other. It was incredible. It was absolutely beautiful. But when you looked at everyone else, you see the same. And so I wanted to look at this word that seems to be, there's a constant fight against it. And now we know we're not even supposed to call our husband a husband and our wife wives. So let's look into this word that some, for whatever the reason, seems to be a word that people seem too scared of. So what is the meaning? Where is that come from? When was it first used?
Yeah. So in terms of what the meaning of love is, that is a big, big, big question. And I can't give you that. What I can give you is a definition in terms of how it is for Webster.
Okay.
So, excuse me. So love was actually first used, the word love was first used in the 12th century and actually comes from the Middle English.
Uh-huh.
So it's actually not nearly as old as I had thought.
I was expecting it to be a lot older than that.
Me too, actually. But maybe it was just simply referred to as something else prior to that. But in terms of the actual word in and of itself, it was only the 12th century, which, again, is very, very young.
Then start from Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
So, and there's a lot of different kinds, it turns out. So they have 9 different standards of definitions for what love could be.
Uh-huh.
So you have the first is a strong affection for another rising out of kinship or personal ties. So that could be a maternal love for a child, for example. The second, the second of the first kind of standard definition is the attraction based on sexual desire or the affection and tenderness felt by lovers.
Mm.
The next is actually the affection based on admiration or benevolence or even common interests. So the love he had for his old schoolmates would be an example of that. And then of the first round of definitions is actually the last one here, which is actually the assurance of affection. So almost like give her my love.
Right.
is basically almost what that is. So just make sure that she knows that I have this feeling of affection for her. So that actually is just the first definition
Wow.
in terms of the variety of ways that word could be used.
Okay.
So it could be used anything from just maternal love, just the fact you have for your sibling, spouse, or whatever, all the way through basically just simple a reminding of the fact that you know what you're thinking of someone. So that's a broad range, even with the first definition, one of 9. So the second actually is a warm attachment, enthusiasm, or devotion to something. And this doesn't even necessarily have to be a person. So it could be something like the love of the sea, or that you love to fly, or that you love tiki masala, whatever it happens to be. But it's the warm attachment or enthusiasm you have for something.
Pretty much everything that makes someone feels good inside.
Right. It's something that you hold dear.
That's right.
Or it also could be an object of attachment, devotion, or admiration. So, for instance, baseball. Baseball was, could be your first love, or it could be anything else. It could be shoes, because I know somebody has a pretty strong attachment to shoes.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah.
A beloved person, such as darling or husband, could often be used as a term of endearment. So, what that happens to be.
The word we cannot use anymore.
Correct.
Husband. Okay.
So, and that's actually, very much my mother's British. So, oftentimes the British just simply say that as an informal way to address someone.
Oh, love. Yes.
Hi, love.
But
And truly, it doesn't actually mean that you love that person. It's just
Yes.
simply a way of addressing it, just generally speaking. So again, the variety and range of what this word means, that you either have a very deep bond with somebody, or you're just simply saying hello. It just depends on the context.
Correct.
The next that was actually the third. The fourth definition actually is the unselfish, loyal, and benevolent concern for the good of another, such as a fatherly concern for the good of humankind, a brotherly concern for others, or a person's adoration for God.
Amen.
So again, pretty broad range. The next actually is the personification of love. So, for instance, Cupid or Eros.
Right.
So it could literally be a god.
Mhm.
So you want to talk about range. Anyone from just an informal hello to literally someone divine.
Yes.
The next is basically an amorous episode. So it could be a love affair.
Okay.
Or the next is a sexual embrace.
I don't know why, even though this is a service,
Uh-oh. Someone almost got embarrassed, I think.
yeah, no, because I was thinking about there was a few stuff that's going about what is Harry's brother's name again?
Oh, what's his face?
What was his name?
Wait, I got something with this.
No, what's his name again? Come on, hurry up. No, what what's his name again, please? William, yes. From my understanding is there is allegedly there's a certain type of film that he loves that they've been talking about. And there's also some elements of other, stuff that they've been showing that it seems allegedly love. So that's for whatever the reason is when you say that, that's what comes to my head.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I wish I was prepared for that. I probably would play some clip for you guys from Royal Sussex. See, he does it better than I do. So, go ahead.
Another, actually, I didn't even think about this. It's actually a score in tennis.
Oh, yeah.
It's 0.
Mm-hmm.
0 is
love,
actually referred to
yes.
love.
Love, yes.
Which is kind of strange. I never even thought, I never even
Yeah,
put that
that's
together.
true. Yeah.
And then finally, it is actually, again, going back to the divine, it says the capitalized Christian Science. Which, to be perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea what that means.
Interesting.
I'm not even sure. I think that
Something
refers to a
we
religion
should
that I
look
am not
into.
familiar with.
Okay.
Oh, and then Connie asked if she can actually say what you were talking about regarding William.
Yes, she
So
can.
so you're allowed to share it on the comments. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So you can share it on chat, Connie. So go for it. So
Okay.
okay, so that, my friends, was 9 full varieties and of definitions of what love could mean.
Wonderful. So, what about you, George? What do you get for me?
It is.
What
It's
is
one
the
of,
research has saying?
yeah, it's one of those words we're gonna have to like commit to a number of services because there is a lot to it, and even just to what Charles had mentioned at the beginning, the word love specifically, but also all the words that led into it. Because if you go back and you look at the original, the non-translated to the Bibles when they were in Greek or in Hebrew before they were translated to English, what is now just love in an English version of the Bible had a whole series of different words that it could have been. It could have been.
It's like my love for world sex. I love bearing.
That's one of them.
That
is one of them.
Love.
That's like
love bearing.
that's apparently storge, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. It's
Yeah.
Storge. It's a familial love or a natural bond between family members. That's the Greek.
Yeah.
There's eros, as Ryan as we just talked about. There's philia, which is a friendly, affectionate, or considerate love, and then there's agape, which is the one everyone knows because that is the highest form of love. It is the selfless, unconditional love, and benevolent. But that being said, just to focus on the word love and what it means today, in especially in the context of Invictus, in the context of the dynamism that Harry and Meghan represent on the world stage, there's 2 journals to talk about. The first of which is actually from the American Sociological Review. It was published in 1959 by William J. Good. It's titled "The Theoretical Importance of Love." And not going to get into all of the details of the journal itself, but just to highlight what he even covered as a food for thought of the importance of this word and what even like Harry and Meghan are doing in terms of their role. Because what he says is that love is analyzed as an element of social action and therefore of social structure. Although the romantic complex is rare, a love pattern is found in a wide range of societies. Since love is potentially disruptive of lineages and class strata, it must be controlled. Since its meaning is different within different social structures, it is controlled by various measures. There's 5 principal types of love control, which he goes on to describe. But he said the disruptions are more important to the upper social strata who possess the means of control. Therefore, these strata achieve a higher degree of control over both the occurrence of love relationships and the influence of love upon action. And it's just one of those things where you read it and you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly about what's going on with Harry and who he loves. The disruption of class strata of the upper echelon of society and where lineages, all of it.
Absolutely. I think it's so clear. And also this idea of trying to control that love as well too. The fact that, when you see what is happening, amongst of his family and the media, it's almost like they want to have they want to control the love that they share amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? And it's almost like there is something about it that scares them, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is they find that they can't control it. Because that love, it's probably they looked at it as because there is a freedom, there's a sense of free that comes with loving someone and be with somebody. And so if you are in an institution where they want to hold you, so of course, they don't want that love to be expressed the way it should be expressed. And I think, based on the little bit that I know about the royal family, you've seen that with Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth, sister, allegedly that was so in love and was not, allowed to, sort of have that love and how things turn out for her, you know. That kind of control did not want to allow her to be free to love the person that she wanted to love, Margaret. And you also see it again, the fact that what caused Queen Elizabeth to become queen in the first place. The fact that he advocate because of love.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? And it's almost in some way with Harry and Meghan. It's probably one of the first where they cannot actually really control it, but it's not able to control it, still having the success that they are having really right now.
Yeah,
because they didn't expect that.
And it goes back to, and we were actually talking about this earlier in a separate context, but that idea of the attempt to control the love diminished the rest of the royal family, the rest of that sort of institution's ability to benefit from Harry and Meghan, who are succeeding regardless. But if they had not tried to force a control over them in a certain way, a control over their love, and had rather been willing to embrace that disruption, even though it is an element of disruption of the way that their system had been working, if they were willing to evolve,
that's right, and
they would have been able to benefit.
That's why, and as many have saying, have they had allowed King Charles to marry or upset that woman a long time ago?
Which what? Who?
That woman. So maybe perhaps we would have a beautiful Lady Diana with us today. And again, is that this idea of always try to control love. And I think this is where there's a fight. And I think the author say it really, really, really well, where very often you find yourself, what is it exactly about love someone hates or scared or fear or want to control? And it's a part even in our society. Like if you love something, then someone have to come around and try to tell you otherwise. Like, we love everything what Harry and Meghan, our prince and princess are doing, our duke and our duchess is doing, and yet you have a lot of troll who try to control that love, but they can't.
Yeah, and that, honestly, I want to, because it's so on the head in terms of what Harry and Meghan do, who the Sussex squad are, what the challenge, and just the bigger picture, the fact that it is so much more than just Harry and Meghan, just on an international stage, international societies, how we relate to each other, what it even means to be human.
Right.
This next journal entry actually does take a good, it at least frames the question in a good way. I'll put it that way. It's an editorial entry by Harry C. Meserve in the Journal of Religion and Health, actually published in 1968. I think it's an interesting journal, actually, combining the Journal of Religion and Health.
It is.
Combining those two things. And he takes a big swing in terms of the nature of it. He says, The Meanings of Love is the title. He says, for a long time, it has seemed to us that love, that much abused and overused word that stands for the most creative force in human life, is in need of new interpretations and applications in the modern world. In ours, as in most societies in the Western world, it has been narrowly used to mean a mere emotion, usually connected with feelings of a person towards someone of the opposite sex. It has also been so sentimentalized that its transforming power as a social force has been lost sight of. It has been exploited by the hucksters for the purposes of selling soap, cosmetics, lingerie, jewelry, and mouthwash. It has been degraded in the public mind to the point where, if it is proposed as an alternative to violence or injustice, the proposer is likely to be accused of irresponsibility, lack of patriotism, or worse. Hence, we should take a new look at the meanings of love in the drama of human development. In the first place, love has biological foundations in the nature and behavior patterns of animals and men. Care for the young is an instinctive drive that is apparent far down in the evolutionary scale. Even more, the capacity to form social groups for mutual protection appears to be a factor of tremendous importance in the struggle for survival in animals as well as in men. Those species that have learned to cooperate best have tended to survive, while the merely powerful and predatory have tended to die away. Thus, the impulse to love and the need to be loved are not merely the results of moral or ethical teachings, they are deeply ingrained in human nature. The importance of this fact for educators, psychologists, sociologists, religious teachers, and others concerned with human behavior cannot be overestimated. It means that the effort to teach love and human concern is not an attempt to reverse the natural instincts of the human being, but rather an effort to set free powerful creative forces that are already there.
Wow, that is incredible because, again, it's what we have seen the last maybe 5-6 years. This idea that we love the queen. And then we love this, we love that, we love the royal family. And yet what they are doing is damage to the royal family. Or, sort of, my darling boy, or the fact that, all those things that, we have been witnessing in the name of love that just does not resemble love.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so when you
but it's interesting that you say that, though, because based on the numerous definitions, it could just be like, again, love could just be easily something of like an informal hello to a guy on the street. Right?
Yeah, but it's
so
but
I think I think it's important that we recognize the range of what it is. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, the range of love that you are, I can understand. I mean, here I am here. Very often you hear that, me describing how much that I love Baron, someone that I've never met. And like I see him and feel him as though that, it's someone that I know, like a brother, like a family member. I feel like sometime that I actually know him, so to speak. And we share so much. And there is that love. And I become very sensitive to anything that he's experienced or may happen to him, or whether he have a good day or a bad day, whatever. So I get it, how you can love something that even if sometimes it doesn't feel well. But my problem is the people that, who actually saying that they love. But again, the expression, the feeling that you have of loving something does never sort of, how would I say, horrible things, in my opinion, don't come from that. I just think there's a part of it that, maybe there's some love there to a point where that people misinterpret it or taking to a different level. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not an expert, which is why, the author say.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly what this author is getting at in a fairly compelling way, is that it is right now a word that is overused.
That's right.
And abused. And as such, its meaning has been degraded, where it doesn't even, like, if you use it, you might even just be heckled because it's like, oh, you're not even being serious, or you're being irresponsible because you're talking about love. It's like, no, that is part of the problem of where we have arrived because of the way the word has been used. And perhaps that just speaks to the importance of, again, part of the work that the Sussex Squad is doing, part of the work that Harry and Meghan are doing, of reclaiming what it even means when you say love. When you say love wins, what is actually love? Something like the Invictus games actually being, what does it mean to truly show love?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we see this, the expression of bringing someone in your life, and that you marry and then you call husband. And so when hate is present and sort of, again, presenting as love, it's almost like you almost forgot how, to make sense to anything come out of your mouth that just absolutely doesn't make any sense. And I think we have a video that, we should play to see what happened when hate described as love.
And she very carefully called Harry my husband, which they always do in public. It drives me mad. They call each other my husband and my wife.
My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife and I. 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 Me and my wife. Me and my wife. Me and my wife. I'm so proud of my wife. My incredible wife. An amazing wife. I knew I had found a soulmate in my wife. Thank you, my love. The girl of my dreams. Mother to my children. The love of my life.
Again, why would that drive you mad of somebody calling their husband or their wives? This is what I'm saying. You lost all sort of sense of I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, to fake outrage at saying that, there's no basis whatsoever.
It's not, like I don't like. It's almost like, again, when you see what's been going on this week, the fact that we have Invictus, something that should really united, all of us. Those are people that who sort of have give so much for everyone anywhere you're a part of the world. That to see that these people could not take at least 1 week off.
Yeah. I mean, if you see anything about the impact that the Invictus Games has on those families and individuals who participate in it, how can you not just let it be?
That's right.
Just let it be. Just let it be a good thing for those people.
But it's also, I think that's really the problem that they have, and they're going to continue having, is that at some point, there's no such a sense of separation for these people where you can kind of like, well, you got a point here, you got a point there. It's hate all the time. The fact is that, what, Princess Meghan and Prince Harry are doing on the world stage, the result of it, which we all seen this week, the whole week, and you cannot give them credit. You cannot talk about that, and you have to find something negative to actually really say, this is what most important to you. There was nothing there that inspired you. Like, I don't really get it. This is why you can't take these folks seriously, because you see it for what it is, really hatred. But in the mix of it all, you see the power of love, because it rises above of it all.
Yeah, yeah, and I that's why I really loved this last author as well, what he wrote, because at the very beginning he says it at the onset, that the word that it stands for the most creative force in human life, that has transforming power. That's about as clear as you can get when you talk about the most powerful force, most powerful creative force in human life.
And I truly believe that. I truly believe that, what makes Invictus in this week so important, and is going to go down in history, where there is research that's going to be done. There's book that's going to be right. There is people that are going to talk about this moment. That feeling we all feel, as though there was nothing going on around the world amongst us. People are losing their job, their livelihood, and everything that is happening. And yet, there is this group of people that are gathering, again, showing us one more time, spite of all the difficulty that they have, families, how to do it, how to hold hope, and how to show up, because all of us are experiencing difficulty at this time in our life, and we depend on those soldiers, we depend on those heroes to protect us, to keep us safe. And here, one more time again, they are showing us how to deal with this moment that we know we are in. The families are teaching us how to best deal with this moment that we are in, and what it is really important, because the power of love, it's what keep all these folks alive. The power of love, it's what get them to actually step up on the ice and do what they do, support one another, wake up one day, whether they have pain, whether they hurting, whatever it may be going on. But what we saw is the love of community.
I think exactly, and I think that to me, what is so inspiring about Harry and Meghan, about the Invictus games, about even just what this last author put forward, and we've seen in different places, right, is that this most powerful creative force in the world, love, is not some far off thing that you have to spend decades training to be able to do. It is something that is inherent and innate within us as human beings. It is part of our DNA. It is part of who we are, right? And so that it itself speaks to why it is so important, the work that Harry does, even the lawsuits that he's gone on, because it is how we live in this world, the social structures, the tabloid media, different organizations that are actually have us off course of what it means for us to be normal, to be humans living the way that we're sort of that we evolved to be living in love, and that it's actually just a return to who we are when we return to love, and you ignore the things that are trying to teach you to hate.
Well, I think that's actually a very interesting point, because it goes back to something I probably shouldn't say, so I probably won't say it, but it goes back to saying that if that's the normal state of things, if that's how people are wired naturally, then what would be the cause for someone to deviate against that?
Right.
And I think and to this point, they would probably have to be incentivized in order to deviate from the natural course of people, just because, I mean, at the very basis level, humans are communal beings. We are meant to be in community. Yeah. That's just literally how we're wired as like beings, right? As simply animals. So it's interesting. And then you start looking at, okay, well, what reasons do people have to, because it's baseless. There's no reason for anyone to think that's a bad thing,
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up, because it speaks to the fact that as humans, we have multiple things that we inherit genetically, evolutionarily, as in society. There's things that we are born with. There are things that we are taught. And part of it seems like it is a social decision, a group decision as to what is going to be our collective focus, what is going to be our collective priority in terms of what we lean into, in terms of what comes to us naturally. Because there are things that are natural to also feel. It's natural to be afraid. It's natural to be insecure about some things, and you can have a sort of a social structure that pushes people to go into those things more. Or you could have social structures like the ones that Harry and Meghan are creating that really do show that there is an alternate way. There is a natural path towards something better that comes to life through love.
Absolutely. And I think what we going to do, there is this wonderful, incredible poem that we put together, with the highlight of this week that we want to share with you guys. I think that tell the story before we close the service.
Do you wanna before that one? Do you want to so the Harry as the standard?
What do you mean, Harry the standard?
The clip in terms of that Harry sets the standard for what someone should be looking for in their partner.
That's right. Absolutely. I think what I wanted to do is play it and then play it at the end again, double time, because I think it's so beautiful. So go ahead.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And it's coming up now. Here we go.
If you choose to date a man, you better make sure that he likes you more than he likes other men. You better make sure that your opinion of him is more important to him than the opinions of other men.
And he had a few issues which were based not on reality. And I was defending my wife, and he was coming for my wife. She wasn't there at the time. But through the things that he was saying.
Just in case anyone's confused, this is real masculinity. Name a man who had more to lose than Prince Harry for standing up for Meghan Markle. It was so important for him to not only stand up against misogyny, racism, bigotry, to stand up to anyone disrespecting his girl, even the people that he loved the most, his literal family. When a man doesn't back down and defends you when it could potentially cost him literally everything, that's not only a real man, that's the only man worth your time. What are we doing here? If your pain isn't his pain, you need to cut it.
I agree. I actually forgot about this clip. You see, I'm trying to stay on schedule.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, Suzy Q said
Suzy Q reminded us that the time zone importance. So there's some time before the closing ceremony starts.
I see. Okay, wonderful. So what should we talk about? Let's talk about exactly
from
what she just said.
Yeah, from what she just said, I think she brought up a really important element of who Harry is, how he serves as a model, as a role model for others to follow in a lot of different ways. And also, I mean, she talks about it as being the definition of masculinity, which is important and is a separate conversation, but it also just speaks to what we're talking about with this service of what does it actually mean to love someone. And again, there's different kinds of love. There is, love for your family. There's love that you have for your friends, maybe for your team, for your community, for food even, different things. And maybe that's part of the work of reclaiming what do we actually mean when we say love something. But at that highest form, when you're talking about your life partner, your sort of your kindred spirit, your the other sort of half of you, that there are certain ways in which you behave that demonstrate that show that love, and that Harry and Meghan are just so good as examples of demonstrating that.
I think this week, it's almost like I could watch and see why a part of the hate on those two couple, it's going on. Because when you see the amount of love, the way they looked at each other, the way he loves her and the way she loves him, you could almost feel the envious of the haters. So much so this woman will say that, how much she bothered.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And I think a lot of it, how dare she to have that type of love?
First she wears
though
a red
she
dress.
doesn't deserve. Exactly.
First she wears a red dress, then she calls her husband. How dare she?
Exactly. It's almost like she should never have this love. She doesn't deserve this love. I wonder what what the co-host is saying lines, because you have not reported on the co-hosts at all. Are they?
They're there and they're doing their wonderful thing. And speaking of, actually, a huge thank you to V Brame and to Olivia Johnson for the super stickers.
Thank you so much.
It is also great to see you, Majesty Sussex Report, and we're grateful that Connie let you know that the service was live, and everyone else that's joined. I mean, everyone. It's so we don't always stop because we get in the role of the conversations that we're having, but
That's right.
We do always see all of you and are so happy to see and read the comments. It's great that you're all here with us.
Absolutely. So, yeah, love. It's just amazing to see how it play out this week, and you feel like I feel in a good place because of it.
No, definitely. I mean, it is, especially in the time in which we find ourselves, that sort of inspiration, that sort of highlight of the best of us.
There is a lot going on in the world right now. Sometimes it probably make you feel like you don't want to get up, and then you remind yourself of Invictus, what is going on there, and you're like, no, I could get up. No, I can do this.
It definitely puts things in perspective, certainly. Like, if people that have gone through a lot more and have are differently abled, have different challenges that they're facing, are getting up and competing at the highest level on that kind of stage and doing that kind of achieving like that, then you can go and do this. You can go get what you need to get done.
That is amazing. And I think in the spirit of love, the spirit of Invictus, the spirit of those heroes, I think it would be incredible to share with our co-hosts and our audience and who follow us and who's been with us this incredible poem. I think it's amazing. And so we'll play it here and we'll play it again at the end because I think it's so amazing and it tells the story of love.
Exactly. It reads like a poem, but in fact it is the letter.
It is a letter.
It is a letter.
It's a letter.
Some of you may recognize a letter written from a father to a daughter.
Absolutely. But it's one that, who certainly that we can share with everyone, a loved one. And incredibly, we're sharing this poem, not just with our brothers and our sisters in our community, but who, for those of you who have husbands and wives, and especially to a beautiful Princess Meghan and a lovely, wonderful prince that who is doing magical this week, and we couldn't be prouder. So this poem, it's for all of you.
There is an extremely powerful force that, so far, science has not found a formal explanation to. It is a force that includes and governs all others, and is even behind any phenomenon operating in the universe, and has not yet been identified by us. This universal force is love. When scientists looked for a unified theory of the universe, they forgot the most powerful unseen force. Love is light. That enlightens those who give and receive it. Love is gravity, because it makes some people feel attracted to others. Love is power, because it multiplies the best we have and allows humanity not to be extinguished in their blind selfishness. Love unfolds and reveals. For love we live and die. Love is God, and God is love. This force explains everything and gives meaning to life. This is the variable that we have ignored for too long. Maybe because we are afraid of love, because it is the only energy in the universe that man has not learned to drive at will. After the failure of humanity in the use and control of the other forces of the universe that have turned against us, it is urgent that we nourish ourselves with another kind of energy. If we want our species to survive, If we are to find meaning in life, if we want to save the world and every sentient being that inhabits it, love is the one and only answer. Perhaps we are not yet ready to make a bomb of love, a device powerful enough to entirely destroy the hate, selfishness, and greed that devastate the planet. However, each individual carries within them a small but powerful generator of love whose energy is waiting to be released. When we learn to give and receive this universal energy, dear Liesel, we will have affirmed that love conquers all, is able to transcend everything and anything, because love is the quintessence of life. Service is universal. Love wins.
Oh my God. This is so powerful. And
What was that little giggle?
it's yeah,
It was a great video.
it is. So
Although I have to say the music at the beginning was a little foreboding.
well, it's a bit trouble, but it's a reminder of the
Master
energy
Sussex said that he's all emotional now.
I am. Yes, it was so beautiful, and I want us to remember that as we deal with the trolls, as we deal with what is happening all around us this moment, and to not allow ourselves to go into a place of despair. We need to really hold what's true. You know, we are more alike than we're not. We share so much.
And if we want to save all life on this planet, love is the answer.
Love is the answer. It's always have been. You win with love. You never won with hate.
It's what gives life meaning.
Absolutely. My goodness. So I think we should go to verse because I'm getting a little bit.
On a lighter note, unless
Yes.
avid reader says, "Wow, they really take no prisoners when they play wheelchair basketball."
They do. This is so. It's actually quite exciting, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Honestly, I want to play
The whole
each of those sports.
competition is it's incredible.
It looks like a lot of fun. Honestly, I want to do it.
It is incredible, and
They play rugby too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious.
and I am so looking forward to now. What would be the takeaway for you guys? What it is that you know what you guys, will take away from this moment, this time, Invictus, the power of Invictus. What it would be the takeaway as we closing this incredible, what have been an incredible week for everybody.
For me, I think Invictus, and this year's Invictus in particular, shows that even when it seems like all of the circumstances point the other direction, that our highest form of humanity and love is not only possible, but it is natural, and it is what we need.
Yeah, you?
Perseverance. How crucial perseverance really is. And then also at the same time is like how much opportunity really matters, right? Because perseverance is all well and good, but you have to persevere for a reason, right? So typically it's beyond yourself. and one needs to be exposed to those different kinds of opportunities.
I actually think before I say anything, I would love for you to read the second author that you read earlier for everybody, and then read the first one.
So, the second author, it is The Meanings of Love. It is from Harry C. Meserve, published in 1968 in the Journal of Religion and Health. And what he writes is that for a long time, it has seemed to us that love, that much abused and overused word that stands for the most creative force in human life, is in need of new interpretations and applications in the modern world. In ours, as in most societies in the Western world, it has been narrowly used to mean a mere emotion, usually connected with the feelings of a person towards someone of the opposite sex. It has been so sentimentalized that its transforming power as a social force has been lost sight of. It has been exploited by the hucksters for the purpose of selling soap, cosmetics, lingerie, jewelry, and mouthwash. It has been degraded in the public mind to the point where, if it is proposed as an alternative to violence or injustice, the proposer is likely to be accused of irresponsibility, lack of patriotism, or worse. Hence, we should take a new look at the meanings of love in the drama of human development. In the first place, love has biological foundations in the nature and behavior patterns of animals and men. Care for the young is an instinctive drive that is apparent far down in the evolutionary scale. Even more, the capacity to form social groups for mutual protection appears to be a factor of tremendous importance in the struggle for survival in animals as well as men. Those species that have learned to cooperate best have tended to survive, while the merely powerful and predatory have tended to die away. Thus, the impulse to love and the need to be loved are not merely the results of moral and ethical teachings, they are deeply ingrained in human nature. The importance of this fact for educators, psychologists, sociologists, religious teachers, and others concerned with human behavior cannot be overestimated. It means that the effort to teach love and human concern is not an attempt to reverse the natural instincts of the human being, but rather an effort to set free powerful creative forces that are already there.
Yep. I think, and the reason why I want you to read these, it's a reminder to me and hopefully all of us, my co-hosts, who have to every day dealing with the nonsense around, our Dutches and the misuse of words that, I love the Queen. So anyway, so you want to read the first one? Because I think the first one is incredible as well.
Sure. It says, love is analyzed, and actually before I jump into it, it is The Theoretical Importance of Love by William J. Good in the American Sociological Review, published 1959. He says, love is analyzed as an element of social action and therefore of social structure. Although the romantic complex is rare, a love pattern is found in a wide range of societies. Since love is potentially disruptive of lineage and class strata, it must be controlled. Since its meaning is different within different social structures, it's controlled by various measures. He writes of the 5 principal types of love control and says that disruptions are more important to upper social strata who possess the means for control. Therefore, these strata achieve a higher degree of control over both the occurrence of love relationships and the influence of love upon action.
Amazing. So we are going to move to verse and then prayer, and then we'll close the service with this incredible letter, which I call poem.
You call the letter poem?
Well, it is a poem. I think it's absolutely stunning. So come on, let's go for verse.
Okay, verse. This is one that probably everyone knows because it is quite famous and it is used quite a lot. Actually, especially in weddings, actually. But I thought it was very fitting because what it teaches you about, and the point of it is, what is love? So it's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things.
And I think we have a model for that. It's our Duchess and our Duke. What they have endured the last 8 years, what we have seen they had to go through, what at times feel like hell, so to speak, and come to the other side and offer themselves to this incredible group of people, this community we are all depend on, that have served us. They are the example, at least for me, of love. The Sussex squads that who have been incredible people who tune in every Sunday to listen to this girl here with a massive speech impediment. And they're like, you okay? That is incredible. That amount of love. And again, the love that Royal Sussex, Baron, have shown me, the kindness, and this idea that, you know what, this girl, I don't know who she is, but go support her. Like, there is something in that for me that just, I can't put my hands on. I can't get over it. And I think it helps me in my life as I deal with people that I don't know and show them kindness and trust and believe. And so I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to you all. Thank you all, Sussex. And so my prayer is that we hold on to that love. We hold on to that love because it will create the root. It will put us on the other side that we need to be with our families, with our friends, with our neighbors. I truly believe that. So I hope we hold on to it. I hope we smile every time we looked at our Duchess making, strawberry jam. I don't know what it was. With now give me like a new thing to do with strawberry. That we smile. I hope we hold on to this feeling because it is my belief there is dark days ahead. But we need love. We need to hold on to it. And so I pass it on to you, George.
There's not too much to add beyond that, but what I would pray for, especially with today being the closing ceremony for an incredible Invictus Games, is that love, that respect, that family, that community that this past week has reflected and created does not stop or slow down, but continues to grow and expand and accelerate, to expand its impact and influence all over the world. For those who are still on that journey of recovery and healing for themselves and with their families, and for it to be, perhaps even more importantly, a light for those who have not yet gone too far down that road yet and are looking for that support, looking for that inspiration, that the Invictus Games can continue to be that inspiration for those who have sacrificed so much for their countries, for their families. that it can be that path to healing for even more.
And I will extend as well to all the caretakers, everyone that give themselves, everybody who show up when called on, when love call, for each other, for community, for families, for the sick, for the needies. The poem that you know, or the letter we're going to play again is for you. And to all the Sussex squad, especially, we have one of our own over there now, Facts and Two Cents. She's incredible. She's doing her thing there. She's reporting. She was live on last week, I believe, with Baron, which was incredible. And to the amazing Baron, who does incredible job every single day. And to Tina and Michelle, that will put us on a path to say we need to support our girls, our American girls, our American princess. We're not going to sit here and allow this girl to be vilified and put through what they were putting her through, that there was a possibility that we might have lost her. And now to be on the other side. And this poem, this letter, it's for all of you. Sussex Squad Nation, Sussex Squad World, friends and family. Baron, this is for you, baby.
There is an extremely powerful force that, so far, science has not found a formal explanation to. It is a force that includes and governs all others, and is even behind any phenomenon operating in the universe, and has not yet been identified by us. This universal force is love. When scientists looked for a unified theory of the universe, they forgot the most powerful unseen force. Love is light. That enlightens those who give and receive it. Love is gravity, because it makes some people feel attracted to others. Love is power, because it multiplies the best we have and allows humanity not to be extinguished in their blind selfishness. Love unfolds and reveals. For love we live and die. Love is God, and God is love. This force explains everything and gives meaning to life. This is the variable that we have ignored for too long. Maybe because we are afraid of love, because it is the only energy in the universe that man has not learned to drive at will. After the failure of humanity in the use and control of the other forces of the universe that have turned against us, it is urgent that we nourish ourselves with another kind of energy. If we want our species to survive, if we are to find meaning in life, if we want to save the world and every sentient being that inhabits it, love is the one and only answer. Perhaps we are not yet ready to make a bomb of love, a device powerful enough to entirely destroy the hate, selfishness, and greed that devastate the planet. However, each individual carries within them a small but powerful generator of love whose energy is waiting to be released. When we learn to give and receive this universal energy, dear Liesel, we will have affirmed that love conquers all, is able to transcend everything and anything, because love is the quintessence of life. Service is universal. Love wins.
Service is universal. And this is for all the content creators. So, what an incredible week. And today, many of these folks will be saying goodbye one last time to celebrate what it been miracle, and yeah, as I will call it, miracles in Canada, miracles in Vancouver. And for us, we are taking away that powerful, powerful word, the meaning of what we just seen. Friends, friendship, families. And most of all, the love we get to experience and live and see it between Harry and Meghan. To you all, may God bless you all. God willing, we see each other next week, and we certainly will be on Royal Sussex tonight, so we'll be listening. And of course, we all be there for the closing night, singing, yelling, and do it at all and get our drinks. So may God bless you. Love win. Love win. And please, please take care of your mental health. Good night. Good day. May God bless you all. See you next Sunday.